Welcome everybody to Ein Sof Learning. What happens to the nefesh of a person when they sin? This is a good question. So, what happens to the nefesh whenever you make a sin? First of all, we have to know what a nefesh is. In Kabbalah and in Judaism in general, it's written in the Gemara as well, there are 5 levels of the soul. From below to above, we call them nefesh, ruach, neshama, chaya, and yechida. These are the 5 levels of every person's soul, and each level corresponds to one of the olamot, one of the worlds, the spiritual realms in Kabbalah, which again, from below to above, in terms of virtue, you've got the world of Asiyah, then above that is Yetzirah, Bria, Atzilut, and Adam Kadmon. Each level of the soul comes from each of these worlds. So the nefesh comes from Asiyah. The ruach comes from Yetzirah. The neshama comes from Bria. That's the world of souls. When we say soul, it's really referring to the neshama, which comes from Bria. Then there's chaya, which is in Atzilut. And then there's the yechida, which signifies your connection to the Ein Sof. It's that aspect of every single person's being that binds them into existence because they're connected to the ultimate source of life, which is the endless light, or Ein Sof. And that's in the world of Adam Kadmon. So the nefesh is the lowest level of the soul, but it is that energy that enlivens a being to give it its life. The nefesh is like the life of a being. The truth is, even animals have a nefesh, because nefesh is just what allows you to exist. But there are really 2 aspects to the nefesh. There's the animalistic aspect, then there's the divine or godly aspect. Animals have the animalistic aspect of the nefesh, but they lack the divine aspect. Humans have both. And what that means is that, yes, you are at least an animal. You are at least an animal. But you have the capacity to attain a higher order functioning, which comes from above. And that is what we call the divine nefesh, the godly nefesh. That's why every single person has free will. Who gives you this free will? It's these 2 energies. One of them convinces you to go after selfishness. The other one persuades you to hold off on self-satisfaction because you want to become closer to God. And anybody who wants to become closer to God has to transform their selfishness into selflessness. That's through all of the mitzvot, the commandments that we perform, all of the blessings that we recite, all of the prayers that we make. It's for the sake of transforming the selfishness that exists within our own heart into a force for goodness and giving. And in reality, giving back to the Creator for all the good that He does for us. You might ask, how can we give anything to the Creator? The Creator is perfect. So, God forbid you should think that He's not perfect, and therefore we have to give Him something to make Him better or make Him perfect. That's not what this idea is about. It's about giving Him the satisfaction of seeing His own creations flourish and succeed, and to really make His name great in the lower worlds. That's what the Creator wants. He wants to be known. He wants to be revealed in the lowest world, which is this world. We are living in the lowest world. It's called Olam Tachton, the lowest world. Or, in other words, it's called the Olam Hazeh, this world. The one that is right here, right now. And that's where we find ourselves in. So the question is, what happens to the nefesh, whether it be the godly aspect or the animalistic aspect, whenever we commit a sin in this world? And before I just get to that answer, we need to understand that the actions that we perform in this world have impacts in the upper worlds. They make effects, whether for the better or for the worse. Through good thoughts, good speech, good action, you are causing channels of light to illuminate in this world. Meaning, it's like spiritual blessings that are bestowed from the upper dimensions onto the lower dimensions. That's what we call Maim Duchrin, male waters, which flow from above to below. But it only comes, these blessings, these divine blessings only come as a response to us elevating Maim Nukvin, which means feminine waters. That's our responsibility from this lower world, to elevate a prayer, to raise some sort of offering, which is none other than your own heart, to the Creator. And then in response, He gives you a light, which is called male waters, which is really blessings in response for you making that offering, which is really the prayer that we make. So that's whenever you do good thoughts, good speech, good action, you're elevating sparks to the upper worlds, which trigger a release of blessings in this world. But the opposite is also true. That means if you commit a bad thought or bad speech, bad actions, you're thinking about sin, or you are speaking evil against someone, like gossip, or spreading lies, or you're doing something that's evil, which means that you are physically using your body for sin, then those cause blockages in the upper worlds, thus making this world darker for you or for whoever else that are not above this world. Most people are inside of this world. They're stuck in the matters of this world. They're not able to separate themselves from the affairs of this world. And therefore, they go by the course of nature. What comes, comes. What goes, goes. They're not able to tap into the supernatural, which elevates them above the illusion of this world and taps them into the truth of God's goodness and of your relationship with Hashem. All you need is to recognize the relationship that you have with Hashem. That's the only thing a person really needs. And we know that you exist in the upper worlds because, like we said, there's 5 levels of the soul. So what happens to your nefesh? Well, it becomes damaged and defiled. Pagam and tameh. That means that there is some sort of a spot that is being dirtied, and it is your responsibility to rectify it, right? Each person is responsible for rectifying the blemishes that they make in the upper worlds, which ultimately defile their own soul. However, you cannot really defile the level of the neshama, which is the level that's above the ruach. Because the neshama is pure. God gave us the neshama and it is pure. But the nefesh and the ruach, not only the nefesh, but even the ruach can be contaminated. It's up to you. Either you're going to have a nefesh bahamit or a nefesh elokit. Either you're going to have a ruach hakodesh or ruach tameh, an impure spirit inside of you, like a demon or a shed. Shedim in Hebrew means demons. They are spiritual entities. They're like disembodied spirits. And they're not friendly. And if you don't fulfill the vacancies within your own vessel with goodness, with light, meaning with nefesh elokit and ruach hakodesh, then unfortunately you're left with the alternative option, which is nefesh bahamit and ruach tameh, an impure spirit. And they live inside of you like freeloaders. You've ever seen those people, like they squat buildings? If you stay in an abandoned house for long enough, according to certain laws in some certain places, you can legally take over that house. If nobody comes and disturbs you for like a certain amount of time, it's called squatting. You can basically steal a house by just living in it without being told to leave for enough time. So that's what happens with these evil entities or spiritual entities. When they notice that there is a vacancy within you, it's not being fulfilled, it's a place of darkness, and therefore they may as well go and live there. A person's body is a house for spiritual energy. Again, either going to be light or darkness. But whatever it is, darkness is also a type of light. The truth is, darkness is light, but you just can't access the light. That's why it appears dark to you. Because you haven't really purified the vessel. You haven't really rectified that aspect of your soul yet. And therefore, there's still some damage there within you. That's why I like that song by Imagine Dragons. It says that the demons live inside. That's where the demons hide. Don't look into my eyes. That's where the demons hide. Right? There's some truth to that. The demons, the spiritual entities that are malicious, they embody vessels that are basically asking them to come. A place that there's a darkness, it is attracting and pulling those dark energies to inhabit them. That's why we put the mezuzah on the house. That's why we put the mezuzah on our body. Whether it be the tefillin or just having self-control not to see the wrong things, hear the wrong things, smell the wrong things, taste the wrong things, or say the wrong things, and touch the wrong things. The mezuzah of the body is very, very active for a person that has self-control. But if a person doesn't have self-control, they didn't put the mezuzah on, or they're not activating the mezuzah. So it's up to us whether these entities are going to be inhabiting our vessels, or whether they are excluded and they're not able to enter because you have that self-control. Your masach, your screen, which is a filtration device that you use to decide which type of light, which type of thought you want to enter your mind, and which type of light, meaning which type of thought you don't want to enter your mind. Imagine having that level of self-control. Yes, it's possible. Yes, it's been done. It's being done right now by people all over the world, specifically those that are in the Kabbalistic path. And you can do it too. And I haven't reached there either, obviously. But I'm going to get there as well. That you can be able, you can get to a level where you can control your thoughts, your speech, your actions. You can control your organs. You can control your inner world. You choose how hot you want to be, how cold you want to be, when to go to the bathroom, when it's going to continue digesting the food, when you should pause digesting the food because you want to save energy for another purpose. You can control the systems within your own body if you can tap into the roots. The roots meaning the spiritual essence of who you are. And then you learn about how to control your own system by learning how to use these energies and tap into these energies and how they interact with one another. Eventually, you can see how that manifests within the physical body. Because, again, the body is the home for the soul. So, that's that. If you enjoyed, don't be afraid to share this video with your loved ones. Comment your questions, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Hey everybody, thanks for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't be afraid to share this video with your loved ones, as we know that we are trying to reach as many souls as we possibly can with the wisdom of the Torah, specifically its inner dimensions called Kabbalah, which is the mystical secrets that are contained within God's holy Torah. And I invite you to join me on this effort to spreading this wisdom to the four corners of the world so we can prepare for what we've all been waiting for, the final redemption, where Israel will be redeemed along with the righteous Gentiles.